lot of us feel like we got a sense of intuitively what would be right for us, and I think we hold on to that to our detriment, especially during very difficult times. I know we talk about and value awareness of the body. Is there anything that could be valuable in being aware of your body sensations regarding your intuition? I don't know if I'm making any sense to connect these two.
They are connected, and I think that we know because we've talked about in a lot of episodes about how important the body is, and it is the reservoir of so much emotion, so much trauma, and it's not just a mental activity. The nervous system's affected. Your body is giving you readings on situations that may be painful, but you're not used to reading them. We have other people that have learned to survive by cutting off their connection with their bodies altogether. So they do intellectual, I call them machinations, and they're so disconnected from what's really happening. But we do believe, and we know it's true, that the body is so important in dealing with decisions, crisis, adversity, trauma, and there are ways to deal with it to help clear it out, to clear the emotion, to read what your body's telling you, what kind of emotion you're holding back, anger, sadness, shame, pain. We know that that's all part of this.
That's what I kind of picked up, I think, because when you said contaminated intuition, the contamination I think you're talking about is kind of this emotional buildup that prevents you from really being able to read things correctly, and that is something that we've talked about being able to sense in your body.
Well, I'll give you an example of that. You're right, but we've had people who think they're very intuitive, and we've seen them when we've tried to help them completely misunderstand an interaction and believe they're 100% right. And what it turns out to be is they've gotten triggered by old emotions, old trauma. I can think of a couple right now, and the lady was abandoned by her father, had a lot of and all of a sudden that gets triggered, and she completely misunderstands her husband, and she's absolutely convinced it's him. And we're sitting there going, he didn't do anything. Nothing's going on, and she's absolutely emotional, worked up, irate, and we're wondering, now, who is she talking to? Well, what's happened is those emotions in her body, the anger, the pain, not from her husband, but from her father, got triggered off in some kind of interaction, and boom, takes over. She believes, she's absolutely convinced her intuitions are telling her it's her husband said this and he's being insensitive. And we've watched these things and go, the guy's sensitive, he cares about her, he hasn't said a thing that's insensitive, and yet he's being accused of being horrible. And then where's this coming from? Who's this about? It's about her father. And so we have seen things like that. We do know how to clear it out so people can progress and move forward. The folks that trust us know that they'll kind of defer eventually to us and realize something's wrong. Others attack us. I've been attacked many times and accused of being, and I'm going, now how did you get to me out of that? And when these folks are intuitively and emotionally reactive and their bodies are filled with this anger and rage, they get very accusatory and very angry, and you look at them and go, nobody's doing anything to you. But at one time, people did. So that's how off people can be. And at that time, these folks believe their intuition is telling them what's going on exactly. And it isn't. So we have seen how this contamination, and the body is a place you can get readings on your rage, the tight jaw, the fast heartbeat, the intensity, the adrenaline, the cortisol levels. It all sends physical messages through your body and telling you that something's been triggered, something's come up, and you're in a lot of pain. So we teach people how to read their bodies and how to understand, and then how to deal with it, to discharge it and decompress it, so they can get a clearer reading intuitively in the present without all of that stuff contaminating their perceptions.